Hey Capricorn, you guys are last, but that's okay because it's going to be your birthday soon and you were so patient and you guys are so awesome. So awesome. So, what is going on, Capricorn? Let's see. Actually, really happy that I waited until the sun went down. Sun goes down really early in Denmark this time of year, but I'm super happy that I waited because, I don't know, it's just like a cozy feeling, you know, got some candles going, it's dark outside. I live right across from a church. Interestingly, not that this has anything to do with your reading, well, maybe it kind of does. I've always lived across from a church. I've never lived, and I've lived in several places, in several, on several continents throughout my life, and I've always lived right across from a church. Maybe God needs to keep me pretty close, or I'd go bad. Ha ha ha. No, I think it's always been very comforting to me, right? To be able to hear the church bells and to be able to hear when, you know, you can see people when they're getting married and funerals as well. There's all kinds of, you know, stuff that it keeps you connected to the cycle of life and death. So, what does that have to do with you guys? Well, we are coming to your part of the year. Happy early birthday. And your part of the year is definitely associated with the death of the sun and the coming back up of the sun, right? Not the sun as in like the Son of God, but like this actual sun, right? So you guys are the sign of coming from the dark into the light. You're the sign associated with, obviously, the devil, right? The goat horns. But what is that really? What are we talking about? Are we saying that Capricorns are all bad? That because it's a dark time of the year, you know, that there's something inherently evil about you guys? Not at all. Not at all. It would behoove everyone to remember that the devil was once an angel, and his worst sin was what? That he loved God so much, right? He loved God so much that his ego got in the way. That is something we can talk about, right? Because there are times when you love someone so much that it becomes egoic. Now, for most signs, it doesn't work that way, right? Most people, if they love someone super a lot, they will lay their ego down. They'll become a doormat for that person. They won't have an ego about love. But is that what the devil did? Not at all. In certain cultures, there's actually a mythology that's grown up around the devil, where he is referred to as the greatest lover of God. Right? So, for example, in Persian mythology, this is a recurring theme where there is sympathy for the devil, because they look at it in terms of, you know, in that particular culture, the story goes something like this. God said to his most beloved, right, who sat at the right hand of God, the light bearer, he asked him to bow before man, bow before his new creation. And Lucifer said, well, why would I do that? I love you. I love you best. I love you most. You are the love of my life. Why would I ever bow before anyone else? I won't. Right? And for this he was banished. So how does that apply to you guys? Because obviously it's your card. There has to be some commonality there for this to be in so many ways associated with you. And as we know, Christmas comes from a much earlier tradition called Saturnalia, which is your planet, right? So, what is going on there? Well, simply, when you love, you can love almost too much. You can love to the point where it becomes a part of your egoic identity. See, because the moral of that story is what? Well, if you really loved God that much, you would have done what he said. But it wasn't that he loved God so much and that's why he couldn't bow, even though to him that's how it seemed. What he really was saying was, I'm so proud of my love and the depth of my love that I will not give in for anyone, even for the person that all this love is directed at. It's a bit complicated, right? It's a little tricky. So, what does that mean for you guys? How does that apply? Well, there are times when Capricorn wants to push through and the logic seems sound to you, but it's not sound. It seems sound, right? It's like when Jonathan Swift said that if you follow logically the conclusion that the poor should eat their children, you reach an absurd conclusion. To follow anything logically too far leads to an absurd conclusion. On the point of the devil not listening to God because he loved him so much was absurdist. That's an absurd conclusion to reach. If you really love him that much, do what he's saying, right? No. And what is associated in Christian culture with the sin of the devil? The sin of the devil was pride, right? So, what are we being proud about? What are we not seeing? Why are we not slowing down? Why do we want to push past stuff now that we really must stop and evaluate so as not to be absurd? What are we hanging on to so tightly that we can't see what's right in front of us? Oh, I don't know. This fire sign is still around. I thought we got rid of this person. What happened? Did they come back? Did you let them back in? Or did they guilt trip you? Still hurting other people or still hurting yourself? To me, this is more yourself. Now you're hurting yourself with it. Air sign still there? Air sign still hurting you too? Have we not moved on, Capricorn? Have we not learned anything from last month? You guys do move a little bit slow. I'll give it to you. But when you decide, then you'll go. It's fine. But you're dragging your feet a little bit. People guilt trip you emotionally. That victim martyr mentality, that oh my God, my life is so hard. I don't know what to do. That really works on you guys. You guys are the ones who are like, I can help you. I'm strong enough for the both of us. And then being really not sure. What do you choose? Do you choose what everybody wants, love? Or do you choose stability? You don't know. And I think there has been a push for you to look more internally, to be more spiritual than usually Capricorns are, to be a bit more new agey maybe than you usually are, because you're lost and you don't know what to do. And when you're lost, that's when usually people turn to their spirituality, to religion, to meditation, to find some answers, to tarot, to find answers for things that they can't find answers to otherwise. And I see that there is a break coming here for you of some sort. This could be a breakup. This could be a breakup that's a long time coming. This could be divorce. This could be leaving a job. It's something where finally there's too much rushing at you. This air sign's being pretty aggressive again. And why? Because there are people in your life who you have made feel like they have a certain position. They have a certain place, a certain authority in your life. And when they feel that position is threatened, Let me show you these cards the way they're sitting next to each other, and we can talk more. Okay. So when these people feel like their position is threatened, then they become very aggressive. Okay? So once again, this person, the presence of this person, this fire sign, is making this person feel very, very bad. Very bad. Your indecision about who to choose is showing up again. And this is what I wanted to show you. When someone feels like their position in your life is threatened, they become very aggressive. Right? This is an extremely aggressive air sign card. So this air sign is really like had it with whoever's trying to take his or her place in your life. And this fire sign is being quite dominant with you. And it's causing you quite some pain too. Are you over it, Capricorn? Is this person trying to, does this person feel entitled to things that they have no right to be entitled to? Do they feel like because you were nice to them or that you were charitable to them that now they have more of a say in your life than they should? And here you are, quietly sitting back at the bottom of the deck like, no, I can handle it. Yes, Capricorn, you can handle it. But what about the other people? Right? The people around you can start to go a little haywire while you remain quite calm and detached. But is it fair? Is it fair to let other people feel like this as long as you get to hold on to your security and your sense of self? Right? At what cost? Where does your pride facilitate your fall? It's important to figure it out, because if you can figure it out, you will have figured out a key to how to move through this life much easier with hurting less people. So yes, I see that you really do need a break from everything. And we talked about this last month. But now I see you actually doing it. Now I see you even maybe causing a little bit of drama to get your way. No longer the one who will suffer in silence and just be quiet and let things go. No, I need things to change now, thank you very much. No longer will I let myself be pushed into this quandary of what do I do, this dilemma. Who do I choose? Which way do I go? Do I let this dominant fire sign run me? Or do I let this air sign guilt trip me? Or do I let the pain involved? Do I let my pride get involved and let the pain be my deciding factor? Who's in more pain? This person or me? Are you stuck between these people now and just in pain yourself? Right? And it doesn't even have to be 3 people, because look, it could just as easily be being stuck between a fire sign and what you want for yourself. Right? But being stuck between an air sign and the kind of life that you would like that would be much more passionate and much more fulfilling. It really is, there are many ways to look at this. But the general message is the same. That your inability to make a decision and move on something is still hurting the people around you, but most importantly, it's still hurting you. And that's frustrating, right? Because it seemed like last month we were making some progress in the right direction. But this is also a time of moving backwards a little, and I know you guys hate that. I know that sucks. And then there's nothing you guys hate more than that. The way my brother likes to put it to me, my eldest brother, is, when you break up with someone, that's it. He told me after a breakup once, he was like, don't even talk about that person. Be like me. When I'm done, I'm done. Like, I'm never going to talk to that person again. I'm never going to talk about that person again. And I have to give it to him. He never does. He never brings up exes. He never talks about exes. He never reminisces. There's no kind of nostalgia with him when it comes to that. And you may all be different than that, but what you have in common there is this love for forward motion, forward movement. However, this is not the kind of forward movement that works for you guys, and you got to be careful this month. Don't do this. All right? I don't usually say things like this, but I have to say it. Don't drive too fast. Not this month. The way technology is short-circuiting around us right now with this powerful retrograde we're about to go through, and you guys, your need for speed, don't do it. Don't drive too fast. Don't move too fast. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Yes, this situation, okay. Yes, but don't be hard on yourself like this. Don't stick a bunch of knives in your back. Be careful. Be careful when you're working. Be careful when you're driving. Be careful when you're talking to people. Because your horns are very sharp right now. And the people around you are hypersensitive right now. And there is a lot of love involved here. You know? And remember the story I told you at the beginning. Love, when misplaced, when tinged with ego, can be highly destructive. So you have to look at this and think, is my love, or what I think is love, is it because it feeds my ego? Does this person feed my ego? Or is my love based more on a stability that this person here feeds? We don't know. Only you know. But love in relation to your ego is what we are talking about. And there is insight there for those who can see it. You only know inside yourself what's really going on. Are you being absurdist? Are you following something to its most absurd conclusion by sticking to someone who doesn't deserve it just because they're playing the victim? Or are you being absurdist by hanging on to someone who represents stability, but your heart isn't there? It really is up to you. Only you know. Only you can tell. But I can tell you this. Female or male, okay? There's only one person in your life, Capricorn, who can fill this role. You can't have more than one person in this spot. It doesn't work like that. Whenever you try to make more than one person feel this way, you are going to cause conflict. Externally, sure, with those people, but also internally within yourself. And you'll be racking up some bad karma in the process. So, what does that mean? Well, first of all, let go of your anger about this situation, because your anger is misplaced. If anything, you should be angry at yourself, but please don't be angry at yourself. You're hard enough on yourself as it is. But please don't be angry at the people here either. These people, and look, they're quite some. I mean, I know you guys are handsome and very beautiful, the women, men, and I know you have people surrounding you all the time, and especially this time of year when you're most powerful. I know that people really come out of the woodwork and want to be around you, but it's very easy for Capricorn to lose their temper when they're pushed and they're already stressed about stuff, right? And I guess you guys' little secret is that this time of year does stress you a little bit, because you do feel responsible to so many different people, right? You really do. You feel responsible for the people who love you, the people who depend on you, even if they have no right to depend on you. You feel all this responsibility. And right now, I think what you need to do is you need to let go of those responsibilities just a little bit. Let go. This is just as much for you cutting out parts of your own, guilt. Cutting off that part of you that wants to hold on and replay every mistake you've made. Cutting off the anger you feel towards yourself, the criticism you feel towards yourself. Right? It doesn't seem like a card of forgiving yourself, but really for you guys it is, because without doing this, you guys don't get to the point of forgiving yourself. You have to wield this sword properly instead of letting it stick itself in your back over and over again, okay? So, not moving fast, because it will not be purposeful. Moving slowly, driving slowly, not pushing yourself, being cognizant of how your emotional health is doing through all this. How are you feeling? Sure, all these other people want to tell you how they feel. All these other people want to tell you what that you should do and what you shouldn't do and what they need from you. But how are you feeling? Don't make them all impinging on your sense of freedom and your sense of well-being make you run and make you rush. Like I said, don't drive too fast. Don't move too fast. Don't do things too fast. Not right now. Because there will be a much kinder element coming in. I would say towards the end of the month, even into the beginning of next month. Someone who will just be kind to you. This may not be a romantic connection. This is just somebody who cares about you. Kind of without reason. You may not even know them very well. But they care about you and they empathize with you. They see something in you. They can feel this in you. And it hurts them and it makes them want to help you and reach out to you and be there for you. Let this person be there for you. It may not be anything romantic. This may be your child. This may be your brother or sister or a coworker or somebody who's just like, hey, are you okay? Are you doing okay? Right? You need that. And I see that coming in for you. And I also see that kind of caring for you, facilitating you breaking away from people who just kind of need you for stuff. Right? That sucks, right? There's all these people here who are kind of like saying, but I love you, but I love you, but I love you. And really all you're hearing is like, man, is this just about you needing me? Do you just need me? Is that what's really going on here? Because that sucks. I mean, yeah, you guys like to be needed, but who doesn't want to be loved? Everyone would rather be loved than needed. You know? So if you're starting to get the impression that you're being used, I do feel that here in a sense. You know, Capricorns do get used for being so dependable. Because they deliver, because they'll take care of you, because they'll be there for you. You guys do have a tendency to attract kind of unstable types, you know, because you are so stable. And this fire sign is pretty unstable. She's come up as unstable many, many times now. This air sign has become more unstable with time. Now, I'm not blaming you for that, but the situation has not helped. The only person that's remained pretty steady is you. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but it just makes total sense to me that you would. It's just such a Capricorn way to be. It's like everything around you could be in a whirlwind because of you, and you're like, nah, I'm chilling, I'm good. So, what do we do with all this? Let's pull some outcome cards and see how it goes, Capricorn. Oh, you guys are so awesome. There's something very admirable about this kind of stability. Even when you feel like this, you can mean it. Like, no, I'm alright, I'm good. You know? Not to relate it back to the devil story too much, but you know, even after he got kicked out of heaven, he was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to sit around and cry about this. I'll see you at the end. Let's play this game. Right? And there is some profundity there because everything needs to be in balance. And you guys definitely need to be, you are the balancing force on the other side. So it makes sense that you would be so steady. Right? So, 4 of Cups. Yeah. Pining, perhaps, for the way it was before it got so messy. Before people got hurt. Before you felt pressured and guilty about some stuff. For a simpler time. Looking back at a simpler time. Makes sense. Makes sense that you would feel this way. However, I would have to advise against it this time of year. You're coming into your birthday season, a new year. The days are going to start getting longer again. Leave this behind now. Sure, this may not change overnight. It obviously hasn't changed for a few months. But it really does start up here in your mind. As long as your feelings are still all tied up here, nothing will move forward. right? And I remember how I said earlier, like, it will be a time of, like, where you feel pulled backward instead of moving forward, and you guys hate that. A lot of that will be happening in your head, right? You want to move. Oh, I know. I feel it. You really, and then there's that fire sign again, trying in a different way to come back. Exhausting. You want to move, but your feelings are all tied up and stagnant. What a combination of frustration. Don't blow up at anyone. Be very careful with your anger. Be very careful that you don't start any drama by losing your temper. Just because, it'll be more to clean up later. Not because, oh, you're okay and other people are more sensitive. No, you're just as sensitive. You deserve compassion and empathy as much as anybody else. But don't start this drama just out of a frustration. You can see the frustration here, right? It's kind of stuck in the past, but wanting to move forward so badly and with so much speed, it could make you take this out on some people around you. It sure could. And then you're just going to feel bad and you'll have to apologize, and we know you hate that. So just, don't pick a fight. Like the fight he picked with God. Don't pick a fight. Don't do it. It's unnecessary right now. Nothing's going to move very fast anyway. We're going through a retrograde. Nothing is going to move the way you want it to. Sure, there are new things that are going to come in. Very promising things. End of the month. Okay? Until then, be careful. Don't be hard on yourself. Forgive yourself for the things that you've done. Let go of this anger associated with the frustration of not being able to move, and accept that this is a time that things will move slowly, and good for you, because it is a healing time for you, where you get to look at your emotional health and say, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? A time where you can look inside yourself and say, am I okay? Yeah, I think I want things to move, but sometimes Capricorns just want things to move so they don't have to think. Right? And that brings me to, that's a very nice segue into meditation for you guys. So I have found, ironically, considering we just talked about the devil, I have found that Capricorns are one of those signs that do incredibly well with religion. That getting into a system of prayer is fantastic for you. It gives you a lot of structure and a lot of peace. It brings you a lot of peace. Now, if you're one of those people who doesn't believe in organized religion and wouldn't go that route, then what I would suggest for you is to set up some sort of really systematic kind of, at this time and this time at this time I'm going to meditate, or at this time and this time and this time I'm going to do yoga, or a lot of times what works for you guys is something where your brain can take something apart and put it back together. So really even something like a really interesting video game that works with your brain, that speeds your brain up or uses your brain in a problem-solving way, can be very meditative as well. I know a lot of Capricorns that swear by playing video games as being highly meditative for them. But also, really, almost every Capricorn I know has an almost dogmatic relationship to something. Either it's religion, or it's music, or it's their job. But I would hesitate to relate your job to this, because one of the things that meditation is supposed to do is to take you out of your natural environment and put you into a space of the unknown, and work for you is a very much a comfortable place that's known. So I wouldn't use work as one of those things. But belief in something bigger than yourself, even if that means that what you're believing in is the higher part of you, doesn't matter, even that. But to do it in a kind of regimented way where this is important to me, I'm going through a hard time. Why not at this time implement something like, I'm going to meditate in the morning and I'm going to meditate in the evening, or I'm going to meditate 3 times a week, and then stick to it, because the routine of it is part of what brings you so much comfort, and it also helps you to know, okay, well, I have this connection with the divine, or I have this connection with the deeper part of myself, and I know I'm going to be doing that on Tuesday, and I know I'm going to be doing that on Thursday, and I know, you know what I mean? Knowing that you have that to look forward to. Capricorns need things to look forward to. If you don't have something to look forward to, you get agitated, frustrated. You know, this is why I'm saying be careful with your anger. Be careful not to drive too fast. Be careful not to lose it on people and pick fights too fast, because it's not their fault. You're going through this. The way the sky is, the way the time of year we're at, you have this push and pull going on, and you are really being asked to stop and focus on something bigger. Widen your perspective here. What do you want the next year to look like? Do you want to keep this back and forth going with this fire sign, who's obviously not good for you anymore? Do you want to keep going back and forth with someone that you feel may be using you? Do you want to keep going back and forth with someone that may even be keeping you from the career success you want because their energy keeps pulling you back? Really, there are many things to consider here. And I think the best way for you to get in touch with the answers, because you do have very good instincts when you allow yourself to believe in something like instincts. So what I would do if I were you is I would get into a pretty regular system of either praying or meditating, or whatever that means. I go to church every Sunday, or I pray 5 times a day, or I pray on every Saturday, or I meditate every day, or there's so many different things you can choose. Whichever one of those that works for you, or simply, I am my own system of beliefs, and this is what I believe in, and to celebrate this system of beliefs, I do this every week, right? It doesn't matter what you believe in, as long as you have somewhere to go and something or someone to turn to, even if it's in you, to say, okay, I need a minute here. I need a minute to come all the way out of my head, to leave work behind, to leave these relationships behind, to leave behind all these people who are depending on me and keep reminding me they're depending on me, and just take a few minutes of communing with something bigger, right? Because what it will do for you is it will recharge you, and you need a recharge because you're just giving, and when you're not giving, you're moving. Not a lot of time for stillness if you don't make time. Okay? So there's that. And then there is this beautiful mala. It's made of lapis lazuli and crystal quartz. It's so fantastic. I'm so lucky that Cynthia is my friend and that she makes these things for me. I'm so lucky. I love it so much. And she is very good at what the stones do and what powers they hold, and putting energy into and really charging them with beautiful things. So if you find yourself here and you can't seem to get out, if you find that too many people are pushing and pulling you, it might be a good idea to get in touch with her and get something that you can physically wear around your neck, even under your shirt or whatever, because these stones, it's so nice, they heat up with your body, with your body heat, and you can feel them like working on you. You can feel them vibing on you, right? So if you need something to help you along at this time, reach out to her. She's very nice. She'll help you. And if you want to reach out to me, just because, I understand you guys, I'm there for you. You can just drop me an email. I'll leave my information and Cynthia's below. You can get in touch with me just to talk to me. You can email me if you want a reading, whatever form that takes, right? If you need to reach out, then please do. My email address will be there. Also, I'll be putting up a meditation called the 8 Gates meditation that really helps with slowing down. It is very therapeutic, and also it is the type of meditation that you could do religiously. I do it religiously, and it's fantastic. Right, so there's that, and I will be putting up a video about how to get your groove back after a breakup. And the way that would translate, I guess, for you guys is just how to boost your self-confidence, which I know you guys have in spades, but when Capricorns get hurt, they do have a tendency to take it out on themselves and chip away at that self-esteem. So you may want to take a look at that. And then last thing is, while we're still in your birthday season, I will be in Jamaica in Negril, and I will be doing my videos from there, and I'm really excited to take you guys on that journey with me. It is a place that is very close to my heart. I have very close friends there, and I love going there. It's become a tradition for me. So I very much look forward to seeing you from Negril in January, and then we'll talk more about you guys and your season that we'll still be in, and hopefully some of this will have cleared up by then. Okay? I love you guys so much. You're always in my prayers. Please don't be too offended by the devil analogy. You know that's not what I mean. I know you guys know. You guys understand me. I know I don't have to explain myself to you. But I'll see you in January. Bye.